Hello there, this is Rom Wills coming back at you with yet another video. Sexy men versus good looking men in the eyes of women. Right? Look, yeah. First, let me give a shout out to well-known dating coach, Mr. Lucario. And I mean, that dude, he be trying to tell y'all something. Now, one of the things Mr. Lucario, he constantly has to do a video on is the whole thing about, how much looks matter. I don't know how many. I mean, and I actually commented on one, right? And what I said on the comment was, yeah, the guys who get the most women tend to be average looking. And, of course, you're going to get some detractors. Now, Mr. Lucario, he knows the game. He co-signed it. But, of course, you get some other dudes who don't know the game, didn't co-sign it. And, yeah, I'm going to say don't know the game. And you know what? This might have to go into a little mini rant for a second, right? You get guys who think they know the game. They think it. They're like, oh, if you just good looking and all of that, you'll get the women. Or they get the most women. Man, those motherfuckers don't know shit. Yeah, they get attention. Yeah, they get some women. But a lot of times what happens is this. If you talk about who really getting to play, who tearing up the women, they ain't the guys who look like, Boris Cujo or something. They getting some women. They getting some attention. But if you look at the players, the guys just tearing up like crazy. They look like the guy in the thumbnail. More like Mr. Marcus, right? Because, see, what a lot of guys don't understand, right? They think just because they see women with a man or even going crazy over a man that he's fucking them. And he's not. Nah, not in all cases. A lot of times women, and Mr. Lucario has talked about this, women will look at a good looking guy and say he good looking, say he attractive, and then still don't fuck him. Or even want to fuck him. Because it's a difference between just looking at a guy and think he's attractive and then her vagina tingling. It's a big difference. And women, see, this ain't even anything. What women are, this ain't even, let me hold up. Let me collect my thoughts for a second here. Hold on, because something distracted me just then. This is what the guys are saying, right? This is what the guys are thinking. But usually when guys thinking like this, they always have one thing in common. They ain't been with that many women. And they on the outside looking in. Many of these men have not had a real conversation with a lot of women. Like a real one, not one of those superficial ones, but where a woman telling him some deep down dirty shit. A lot of times, they barely know that like supposedly good looking guy who's getting to play like that. They just seeing it, right? Or when they seeing something, they don't know what's happening in the bedroom. But see, I've talked with some of those guys too. And then, you know what? A lot of times they ain't talking with the actual players. A lot of times. Now, like I said, I got Mr. Marcus in the, famous porn star in the thumbnail, right? The reality is now, Mr. Marcus, nothing against him. But dude, like, if you really look at it, now he's doing porn and everything, right? Now somebody say, well, that's just porn and acting. And it's like, hold up, stop. Stop for a second. When porn stars are cast, they're cast for their sex appeal. Because there's some women watching that same shit. There's some women watching it, and they're going to get the guys who are going to turn on the women sexually. Now, dude, he's definitely not in that 3% of being 6'2". He's 5'8", and he's stocky. If you check on the internet, I even checked it. It's like he's about 200 pounds. Now, I remember first time I saw Mr. Marcus. It wasn't even in a porn because I don't really watch porn like that. Never did. But I saw a picture of him. I said, that dude look nasty. And back in the day, that just meant that motherfucker looked like he just fuck a lot. All right? Those the dudes who be getting to play like that. Now, I know some dudes be thinking, well, if you just look good or, you got all of this, and if I get some plastic surgery, Nah. Because like I said, I've talked with plenty of women and I know it because they be telling me some shit you know they ain't lying. When the woman's telling you about her threesomes, when she telling you about how she deep throated a guy or how she took anal from another guy, she ain't bullshitting you. And I've heard this from hundreds of women. I'm one of those dudes because they say, and I've even asked a woman, I say, why y'all be telling me all this? And more than a few said, Ron, you look like you can handle it. Plus, you the type of guy we'd fuck with. In fact, I even had a woman tell me that. Because I told her something. I said, yeah, if I was messing with some woman, she had a man, I'd be real discreet. No, I ain't even say that. That was another one. I just said, I'm just real discreet. And the woman looked me dead in the eye and said, you be the man I cheat with. I was like, shit. Damn. See, understand one thing, fellas, with women, right? There are men that they don't mind being seen with. And I've talked about this in my video about the sexual underworld. I've done a couple videos on the sexual underworld. There are men who, they physically look good. They might be that tall 3%er type. They can go out in public with them, look good to their friends, probably have a good job. For example's sake, let's just say they look like Boris Cujo. But then they'll fuck with somebody. They'll fuck. They'll have pedestrian sex with that good-looking guy, right? That conspicuously good-looking guy. But then they'll fuck somebody like Mr. Marcus. And see, y'all think I'm just bullshitting. See, a lot of times, people, without knowing any fucking thing about me, don't ask how I know shit. But people tell me. I knew this brother. I knew this one brother. I hate to use this as an example, but I ain't gonna give any identifying thing. Dude, he was over 6'2". He was muscular. Kind of looked like a chocolate Ken doll and shit. No joke. And I have trouble judging another man. But he looked like a Ken doll. Right? Square jawed look. Right? But his wife, dude's wife was fucking some like gold tooth motherfucker who looked like she got him off a corner. And she was doing nasty shit with that motherfucker while she doing like pedestrian shit with her Ken doll looking husband. That's the real game. And that's not even just a black thing. I remember I knew this white guy. I was working with this white guy. If he ever hear, he'll figure out what I'm talking about, right? And I knew this white girl, right? She lived in my building back in the day, right? I set those two up. The white girl looked like Gillian Anderson with a fatter ass, right? Set up with this, this all-American looking white man. She wasn't feeling him. she was not feeling him. Right? But the dude she was feeling was on some more scuzzy ass shit, right? So, look, people have to understand one thing, right? When a woman is looking at a man, she is judging him sexually. Now, just saying he's good looking just means she can be out in public with him and other people will be all right, but behind closed doors not necessarily. Now when it comes to sex, see, one thing with women, and maybe I think that's why I know a lot of dudes who might challenge what I say or what a Mr. Lucario say is they haven't had that much sexual experience and they from the outside looking in. But this is one thing. And I've learned a lot of game from women in the adult sex industry. In fact, Malcolm X talked about that. He knew what he knew because he was dealing with a lot of prostitutes. There, if you want to know what's up in a relationship, well, as a mentor would say, talk to a divorce attorney and talk to a prostitute or a sex worker. They'll tell you. When a woman is looking at a man, she's looking at like, can this motherfucker fuck? It's you talking about marriage and, maybe even having good looking kids if she have a baby with a dude or somebody working a good job, she look good in the wedding pictures. Oh yeah, she'll definitely go for that good looking dude. And just to be clear real quick, I always emphasize men improve their physical appearance. I always do. I ain't gonna say don't. I'm gonna say definitely do. It should improve something. You want to at least get their attention. But women will get that guy for the surface thing. But see, when they looking at a guy just to fuck, that dude, he can be average. He can be a little bit overweight. He could be more of a shorter stature. He can definitely be under that whole 3% 6'2" thing, because they looking at several things. He might be average looking, but they looking at it and say, well, that motherfucker eat the poo. In fact, I knew this white man. This clinically obese white man who used to get young girls all the time because he would straight up tell them he would eat their pussy. He would straight up tell them. And I saw some of the women. I was like, damn, because he's a shit. He'd tell a woman, hey, baby, you can come over and sit on my face. And they go crazy over him. This dude didn't even have a car. This dude riding around on a bike. He got his fat ass on a bike. And shit. But nah, they gonna look at that dude and say, dude, you look like the type who will eat that poo. That dude look like a freak. That's what they looking at. They looking at that man's print. That dude could be bone ugly. He's so ugly the tears don't even he cried, the tears go down the back and shit. But he wear those gray sweatpants, they see a print, they like, oh shit. I knew this. A woman was talking one time about this one dude who he had something with his face, some kind of deformity, birth defect. I forgot what it's called now. It was something with the lip and stuff. But she said, he probably got the most beautiful dick, and that's how she said it too. They looking at that. They looking at that dude, how he walk and his stamina and everything. They saying, does that dude look like he can fuck for about an hour or so? That's what they looking at. Some dudes just think, well, if they got a square jaw and they tall and everything, that's the game. No, I already know. And I already know the motherfuckers ain't fucking like that. Because if you look, like I said, I'm talking to all sides in all of this. I'm talking to the dudes actually getting pussy. And see, a dude can't lie to me. They can say it, but I know how to pay attention. I know what to listen for. I'm listening to the women saying what they actually do. I've heard so many women, they'll have like that guy who looks perfect. He looks like everything they want on paper. And they'll still mess with that other guy who don't look like he got as much. And I've seen that from all sides. That's why I say, shoot, some of the biggest players, and I've said this before, some of the biggest players under 6 feet anyway. But they be tearing up some shit. They ain't what you, and they ain't life of the party or social. Sometimes they the type go to a party and just sit in a corner, literally, because they just look like they can fuck, and that's what's turning the women out. Now, if anybody trying to learn something, that's basically what I'm telling you in my books is how to get there. Shit, I'm telling y'all the real game. I'm telling you that street shit. Look, anybody remember that movie, Do the Right Thing with Spike Lee, and they had Robin Harris playing that character, Sweet Dick Willie, talking about it. That's how they look. Got some guy like that. Might have a little bit of weight on him, tearing up half the women. Shit. I remember in DC, and I shouldn't tell this, but there was a crew of straight up dogs. I don't know if they still in existence now. Like this one dude, I never met this dude. I just know him by reputation. That's how fucked up it is. I know this one dude by reputation, and it was a group. I ain't gonna use the term they were called, but they were all about just fucking and getting some pussy and shit. But you know what? Dude is a Facebook friend of a friend of mine, and I say shit. Let me look that dude up. I saw him. That dude looked like a damn troll. I was like, damn, that's the motherfucker tearing up half the women in the damn neighborhood. Shit. Damn. But, I'm just trying to tell y'all some real shit, man. See, a lot of people, like I said, man, a lot of people on that outside looking in, man. But, like I said, in my books and stuff, I still want to tell people, hey, look, get work out, get in the best shape you can. But the reality is, that's for people who just don't have anything. They just to improve something. But you just get some cats, they just, for whatever reason, they just get it. You know what? They just learned the game as they growing up and shit. And they actually fuck. Seriously. And if anybody doubt what I'm saying, shit, just look up something on male porn stars. Because like I said, that's how they tell. Don't ask me how I know, but that's how they looking at her. They looking at when they casting those films. It's just like casting for anything. When they casting those porno films, they gotta look sexy. Not even that great looking. If you look at female porn stars, just to get an idea, most of them couldn't be a model. But they just, something about them look like they fuck. And seriously, it's a certain way. You know what? Let me put it like this. Men and women who fuck like crazy look a certain way. It's a certain way. It's hard to explain. I would have to show you. Like, I would have to show you. Like, one of my boys growing up, he could look at anybody's picture and tell you how much they fucked. He could just look at a picture. There's a certain look that people who get down like that have. Like some street cats would know what I'm talking about automatically. Alright? Street cats, true to the game, street cats would automatically know. There's a certain look. It's hard. Damn. Yeah, it's I don't really have the words to explain. It's just something you know from just being around those types, that they look a certain way. Like you take one look at them, it's like, oh yeah, they get down like that. In fact, I can look at a lot of people and tell how they get down. Alright? And that's just from experience. I don't think it's something you can teach in a book on body language, anything. Especially since a lot of people who do that stuff tend not to be street. But you talk to anybody who likes, real street. No disrespect for anybody who didn't grow up that way. But if you real street, you can take one look at somebody and be like, oh yeah, they get down like that. But see, a lot of cats who don't have that experience, they don't know that. They don't, they can't figure that shit out. They can't look. Like, I can look at any woman and tell you how she gonna get down. All I need is a picture. Like, I knew this one cat, right? Now, this is just a motherfucker. He fucking like crazy and shit, right? And, his wife should be concerned, right? And I remember he looked at this one woman that we both knew. And he just looked at it, and then he never talked to her. He said, man, she looked like type being a threesome. Right? Now, remember, at this time, he said that I hadn't really stopped and talked with the woman, right? He hadn't talked with the woman. But I got a chance to really just have a conversation with the woman. Man, she was nasty as shit. God, that motherfucker. She just straight up asking me how much I'm packing with. It's like, damn. She was the type. She was just straight up, and she was cool with it. She the type being like, she'd be a regular at like a swingers party or like some orgy or something. It's a certain look. It's hard to explain, and I couldn't even describe it. You just know it. You'd have to walk around with me. I had to point out some people. So anyway, right? Men gotta understand that. It's like, if I'm telling you that shit and somebody like Lucario, because I'm getting his vibe. I know he know what the fuck he talking about. People need to just like humble themselves and listen, man. We trying to tell you the game. But see, some people, they want to argue. They want to keep with a false belief, and then wondering why this person who don't fit into that paradigm is like fucking like crazy. Got about 10 kids and shit. But we trying to tell them. So anyway, right? That's it for today. I'll talk to y'all later. Peace.